My name's Davida Shensky, and this is Live Without Limits. In today's show, we're going to talk about how to let passion be your guide and how being determined can get you what you want. Remember, you're the one that can take control of your life and get exactly what you want, but you have to believe in yourself and you have to do and be what's true to you. We are all born with certain gifts, talents, and passions, but it's not always easy to discover what they are. Some people are fortunate. They know what they want to and pursue their career wise at a young age and enjoy many years doing just that. However, most people struggle with knowing what it is that they truly love to do and work wise or volunteer wise. I don't know why, if acting is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It's just what I've ended up doing when I was little. And I've kind of grown up with it, said Natalie Portman. If one of the most famous actresses in the world isn't sure, that should make us feel a little better if we don't either. But did you know that Natalie Portman is a Harvard graduate with a degree in psychology? She's also an animal activist with and is ambassador of hope for Finca International and is a founder in the Angel City FC women's soccer team. Yes, she's an international star, but can you bet that she also tried and failed at things before she discovered her passions? And even she says she's not done yet. How to discover your gifts. Just how do you discover your talents or gifts that reside within you? It's not as difficult as you might think. Take a few minutes and think about what you really enjoy. What makes you happy? Is there something that you love to do? What could you do for hours without thinking much about the time at all? There's this focus that, once it becomes intense, leads to a sense of ecstasy, a sense of clarity. You know exactly what you want to do from one moment to the other. You get immediate feedback. Positive psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi and Janine Nakamura, becoming fully immersed in what you're doing is a psychological event called being in a flow state. Have you ever met someone who does so, focused on what they were doing, be it painting, writing, fixing their car, gardening, that they seemed to not even hear you when you talk to them? That's a flow state. If you're not sure where to start, don't be afraid to try out new things and walk different paths. You may not discover your passion if you're not willing to try different things. Experience things as naturally as you can and allow yourself to get all in. You may be surprised at your hidden talents. Once you find your passion or talent, fine tune it and share it with the world. Our world is a brighter place when people are doing what brings them joy, as it can add to their happiness and inspire them to do the same. You'll need more than just passion if you want to take it further than a dream. And for that, you'll need willpower and ambition, the power of determination. Pursuing your passion, having determination go hand in hand. Determination is a quality that can help you persevere through rough waters to accomplish your goals. Have you heard of the story of two highly ambitious men named John and Washington Robley? This father and son engineer team were determined to build a bridge back in 1883 that would connect New York with Long Island. Despite their confidence, the peers thought they were crazy and told them they would never be able to do it. John convinced his son that anything is possible. So the two began the enormous project with faith and assurance. Tragically, after a few months, John was killed in a traffic accident that happened on the bridge. Washington later suffered partial brain damage during one of his site visits that caused him to not be able to talk or move. Most people would have given up. A lot of people would have lain in bed, sad, frustrated, and angry about the plight. However, Washington never gave up hope. His, his determination rose from deep within him, and he vowed to see the bridge was built. Creative measures toward fulfilling a passion. Through great effort and determination, Washington found a way to communicate with his wife, Emily Warren Roebling. He could tap his finger, so he came up with the code of communication using method. For 13 years, he tapped out instructions for the building of the bridge. A team of engineers followed his instructions via Emily, and eventually the Brooklyn Bridge was built. How inspiring is that? Despite a monumental obstacle, Washington rose to the occasion and saw his goal accomplished. He was very determined man and never gave his dream of seeing the bridge built. See your dream manifested first. We can learn a lot from those two men, even when others can't see or visualize something. We can. If your partner, parents, or friends can't see as the star athlete, famous singer, actor, or CEO of a successful company, so what? They don't have to. The important thing is that you see it. You visualize your goals, manifesting, and be determined to do whatever it takes to achieve them. It is the actual seeing the goal accomplished that gives you determination. Visualization is more powerful than most people know. Once you learn your passions and talents, define your goals, then see the goals being achieved. Daydream about how wonderful it will feel. Lie in bed at night and play it out in your mind. Entertain thoughts of your getting that acting role, being promoted to CEO, buying the shiny new car, purchasing your first rental property, and more. Rise above the challenges that come your way. Don't put limits on your life. Washington could have chosen to believe that his career was over after he suffered his accident. He could have wallowed in self pity every day of his life. Or he could have been grateful to be alive, but not go after his dreams. However, he chose a different route. Washington chose to rise to the challenge and find a way when it looked like there was no way. He was determined. Not sure what your passion is, your gift or talents. Do some soul searching. Take time daily to note that excites you. What can you envision yourself doing? Ask your family and friends what they think your talent and your gifts are. Sometimes our loved ones can see things in us that we can't. Jot down what they tell you and mull it over. If you still come up empty, you'll be afraid to reach out. Okay, let's go back. Jot it down for what they tell you and mull it over. If you still come up empty, don't be afraid to reach out to a life coach for some assistance. They can come along and help you dig deep to discover things about yourself that have been hidden in the dark. You don't have to decide right away. Try to enjoy the journey, no matter what you're doing or not doing, even if you're still searching your head as to your particular life calling or career path. Do your best to smile and enjoy the present moments. You can experience joy along the journey, and it comes in maybe the energetic vibration of the joy that actually draws you to the insight of clarity that you're seeking. So smile more often today and continue to expand your horizons on all levels. Now, the best thing I can do is give you an example of what I went through because I was born in an era when there were no laws that guaranteed people with disabilities the right to an education or the right to employment. And I had a mother who was constantly telling me how you can't live in your own, you can't think for yourself, or why are you taking that course? Because you're just going to fail. Well, you know what? One of the things that I did was I always questioned why me, why me? And I realized there was a purpose, why me, that my experiences of what I went through can always help someone else. And what I did was that I knew that I had trained in both psychodrama and transactional analysis and wanted to offer group therapy sessions running and using those modalities to help other people live a better quality of life. But because I didn't have the PhD, I couldn't get in with the mental health hospitals and couldn't get the referrals to do it on my own and did not have a whole lot of money to go out and market myself in as a therapist in these industries. And for many years, I basically took low income jobs just to be able to pay the bills. But no matter how many times I went in 10 different directions, I always came back to the same thing. And if I look back at what I was doing 30 years ago when I first started my business, and became associated with Performax and Personal Dynamics Institute, which were assessment profiles and training products that what I do today through the technology allows me to be very successful at what I do, but it was my floundering along the way and always coming back to the same thing of what I was truly meant to be. It was how my passions grew. And I always knew that I always liked helping other people live a better quality of life. And I have a 5-day challenge that's called Change Your Thoughts, Transform Your Life. And if you want to participate in that and find your passion and live the best quality of life and learn to turn your life around so that you can believe in yourself totally, then go to changeyourthoughtschallenge.com /join the challenge. And you will be able to either be in my next challenge or you will be put in the wait list to come to a following challenge. I look forward to seeing you there as well so that you can learn to be the best at what it is that you are capable of doing and that you can find what your passion is and leave a legacy